Your feelings don't matter. Man up. You gotta, and then you build up, and then they're dealing with grown up problems with kid mechanisms because they're basically in trauma because they never were let out. While these kids grow up to be bottle rockets, anything happens, step on my shoes, bam, 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 and then they want to call us violent and lock us up. Yes. It was like, bro, he's been traumatized his entire life. From everywhere.
So it's just that we have to be a certain way with him. He's only aggressive because of how he was raised, the environment he grew up in, and that's understood. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to us, and when you got a really violent older kid, and he's a teenager and he's wilding, why is he wilding?
Flies, ink in a feather, my thoughts fly. Konnichiwa, let's never say goodbye, nor au revoir. Stuck in the sands of time. Memories fading. It's just a figment, imagination mixed in with.
He is the worst.
Wingar.
Yo, Sherrod.
Yo, I love Sherrod. Alright, let me stop. But real quick though, so you said you wasn't really sure how to answer the origin of love. So like the idea of it, like who gave you that idea of love? Like who set that in place for you?
I guess if I could think back, who set the idea? My mom. I think my first understanding of what love is was not only just shown and given to me by my mother, but also was explained to me by my mother. Yeah. Her relationship with my father, and showed me what love is, and also her relationship with us, the ability to sacrifice at the level she sacrificed. Because there's love and then there's a relationship. Yeah. The love a parent shares with their child is very different from a love they share with their significant other. Yeah. And I had an understanding of that young, because my mom would just position that, like she would let us know, like, me and your dad love you guys and da-da-da, but then the love I saw them give each other in a relationship was like that even when I'm mad at you, I still love you. Yeah. You know, one of those things, that true, like love wasn't, it wasn't just a fairy tale. It was a very real thing that came with ups and downs. It came with bonuses and consequences. Yeah. Those are the things I learned about love and what love is, and I learned that through my mom.
That's what's up.
These guys, that are kind of rap rocking, alternative something.
Yes, sir.
And I enjoy watching it. I think they got a great show.
Nah, they outstanding. I knew about 21 Pilots for a while. They one of my favorite acts. The only thing that separates us and them, though, realistically, is skin color.
Yeah,
honestly,
it's the skin color.
Honest, yeah. We'll be honest about it. It's
real.
I know it's all like, oh no, he pulling the race card.
First time ever love hurt was when I guess it's my first like crush, and I'll never forget it. I loved her, quote unquote. And she took the flowers from me, threw it on the floor, and stepped on it. And she didn't care. That also sent the ripple effect, because that broke my heart and made me never want to ever have a girl have the ability to make me feel the way I felt again. So for a very long time in my life, I went on a tangent of like, nah, I'm not gonna show you love without you overly expressing it to me first. So I went about it that way, which wasn't healthy, which I've unpacked recently in therapy. I've unpacked a lot of that stuff, but that was the point in love hurt, and what's funny, it caused trauma that I carried into my 30s. All these politicians, you hear them.
They said we voted in Obama, so it's done. Racism is solved.
A black man got to hold the highest seat in America. You know how many times that's said to me? I'd be like,
so what you saying?
Yeah,
That's what you saying.
What exactly?
But I'm saying, but Malcolm already pointed that
Exactly.
game out. Malcolm was already like, "Yo, these white, they gonna put a few of y'all in places, and they gonna dangle these well-to-do black folks in front of you and say, hey, look, just work hard enough, you'll get here, and that's it.
Yep.
And then, but not telling you all the systemic shit
that's put in place so that you'll never." We was in New York, and we was working with Ben Coiler. We was actually at Black Wax. Shout out to Black Wax. And he called his manager like, "Oh, I love these dudes. You got to come meet them, send them the music." And when she came in, she was like, "Oh my God, they're fucking black guys." It was crazy, but because we always get it though. Like it's like people hear the music and think that we're white guys, but when they meet us, we're black. It's like that's dope. I love that, and I hate it at the same time because it shows you the stereotypes, but also it breaks that barrier. Like you know, like everything. Just because you hip hop don't mean you have to sound directly like this, because in hip hop it was all about sounding like yourself and being yourself. So
and for me, it's even better when they ask us where we're from, because like, oh, where you from? They always think we're from like LA or something. Like, I'm from South Jamaica, Queens, bro.
South Jamaica, Queens.
South 30th from Rockaway, right there off of Fox. That's where I grew up.
Exactly. And you can make music like this. Yes, you can. You don't need to sound like you shooting tank and wilding out. And
I don't need to kill nobody in my music.
Nah.
They done city, and then there's another one uptown. On 100 and I think it was like 104 or 107, something like that, in Park Ave. Yeah. Like it was. I walked in there like, and then when I flew to San Francisco to do some more of that stuff, I was like, oh, now I'm in Silicon Valley looking at a lot of their privileged high schools.
And this shit look like Star Trek.
Yo, I'm like, this.
I can only imagine.
Where y'all went to school? I start thinking about my school. Like, they high school smoked our colleges. Like, smoked us. Like, what?
These high schools are campuses, bro.
Yo,
college campuses.
But that's what they called it, though. They called it campus.
Yeah.
We don't even get that over here. So you got to think that you're at least being equipped to progress somewhere. Some way to move forward. There's a path.
I don't know if you saw the thing with black farmers, how they weren't able, black farmers aren't even able to get any of the subsidies or grants
they're not
that the white farmers get.
I think it's more so to honor my significant other in that space and be able to say like, because marriage is strange for me. Marriage is different for me. Marriage is a contract. Marriage to me is very business oriented. Marriage isn't love. Marriage is an agreement. So you can have love without marriage.
Tell me more.
Marriage, the concept of marriage comes, my understanding of it comes from the joining of two families from the past. So it was like wealth and a lot of other things mattered. It wasn't about what you emotionally felt or the things you went through with a person. That's why a lot of them were arranged and all these other things.
It's given to the bride and groom to say no or to say yes, but by and large, I think agency is non-existent.
That setup does not kind of, give you the structure or the framework to explore the other person's values and beliefs and priorities.
So I had a love marriage, but of course we grew apart. But it also gave me a lot of insight into my own self.
Things like that's marriage. Marriage is that joint, that union, and it's also attached to religion in a very particular way. So when you think of marriage in that way, that's not why or what I think of when I think of marriage. It's just, for me, it's vocally making that bond stronger, or just saying like, hey, I'm letting you know that I'm serious about spending the rest of my life with you, or this decision is forever. And that's what I mean about, in the context of marriage, that marriage as we know it as a society, I think that's strange, because I've also learned that none of the symbolism that marriage holds is what gives you love, or what keeps love. Like it's all just symbolism. It's all just gestures. Whereas the actual thing is the love. The actual thing is the day-to-day, the things that you go through, the things that you experience with each other, the companionship that's there. That's what it is. All as far as like the getting married and going through the process, that's a business deal. That's no different than anything else. You know, if you literally, and it's funny because you literally sign a contract. You literally go before a judge. You go before all these things. You know, and that's a business deal. That's not, the love already happened. Most people are already in love before they get married. So marriage isn't love. Marriage is the deal that you will not break this love. Marriage fortifies it legally.
You before you leave.
Yeah.
That's all it really is. It's no different. It's tradition, and you can switch that up. Like, one of the things I've learned about even like some of the best marriages that I know, the best relationships that I look up to, they make their own rules.
Michelle LaVaughn Robinson, girl of the South Side.
It's all about what works for them, not what it's supposed to be, or what their parents did, or what this person. You might take some nuggets here and there, but you're still building your own cake, you know, like, and that's why I feel like our society and where we are now, I think that's why marriage is less valued in that way, because it's like, I don't need to go through this strenuous process. I need to do this thing to prove to you that I love you and I want to be with you. Because guess what? If I'm going to be with you, it's a conscious choice and conscious effort. And that effort, when you're married, is consistent, and it shouldn't be held by legal agreement. You shouldn't be there because you're married. You should be there because you want to be here. And that's the difference, you know. Like, you don't have to lock someone up. Someone's gonna be with you. No, if someone's gonna be faithful to you, they're gonna do it with or without a ring. It doesn't even matter. Like, that doesn't matter. You know, it's more, that's an outward expression. Like, and I find that, like, it's like, oh, you want to get married, you want to go through the ceremony. Okay, you did the ceremony, cool. Most people have now also spent money and put themselves in debt in ways that doesn't even matter to them. Like, y'all could put the money you spent on your adult My Super Sweet 16, that could have been on a home to progress y'all forward.
Kanye had hired him for what's her name's birthday? What's his?
Oh yeah, Kardashian.
Yeah, I can't remember. And so they had a really interesting interview. And then apparently he played on a record for Kanye.
Oh shit! See?
Yeah, so like, Kenny's hot, right? I grew up with that guy playing Christmas songs.
As you're talking, I hear Kenny G. He was in my household too.
Some serious music, man.
Nah, for real, like seriously.
Serious.
There's a good Vox doc on him, and it's like, it like changed the whole game. It's like there's pre Kenny G and there's post Kenny G. In the same way that like Miles Davis changed the game. You know, it's like Kenny G definitely changed. He made it Kenny G made it very like mainstream, and like, oh, you know, someone's like soccer mom is like throwing on some Kenny G. Like before that, they weren't really into anything that resembled jazz or anything like that. Like,
He's just and he's such a
like no one's ever gonna say turn that shit off. No one's ever did that in my house. No one said turn that Kenny G off. It's a mood changer. Like so Thanksgiving was amazing. You know what I'm saying? That being said, Dave B, what is love to you?
What is love to me? Companionship, partnership. Love is sacrifice. Love is understanding. Love is friendship. Love is romantic relationships. Love is everything, man. Like any and everything. Love is human. That's the closest thing to humanity starts with love.
People be messing up. So you can just say, and that's a wrap. What is love? And you can say, love is a guitar, love is Spurs. Don't say Spurs. Is it easy to like, I'm saying, do you feel like every year brings a different challenge on mourning?
Yeah, one of the hardest things is to feel like I never want anyone to look at. That's a good question, because I never want anyone to look at anything I'm doing or how I speak about Danny and like it's performative.
Yeah.
You know, like with everything I say is true, and it comes from my heart, and it comes from the love I have for him and the pain that I feel.
I've known you for years.
I have. Now you are though, and I did call you a genius. Remember when you first wrote your first book?
I'm fucking
Yeah, no. I give my God they flowers, man. I give you flowers, but you can still smell them.
He be like, yo, Mickey Mouse is a fucking genius, man. Damn. I ain't married many.
I appreciate shit I can't do. There's a lot of people say, well, I don't care for marriage. I would absolutely do it for myself. Because if that's what, because I want to bring them joy in that kind of way, and bring that, and to let them know, like, that's how you feel like that symbolizes our bond the strongest, then cool.
You do. I will forever
So
call.
that's a rap. What is love? And
Yeah.
then to see what love is.
Yeah. Go.
That's a rap. What is love? Love is sacrifice.